on you, Samuel.
I got you. Look at him. Y'all better chill out.
You do the intro.
Y'all just started the video 12 seconds ago. Y'all can give me a chance to breathe. Y'all get on my face.
Nope, because I'll be on it.
I was on time. Y'all was late. I don't want to hear it.
I was on time. I was early.
Yes, sir. Welcome to 10 Talk, where the conversation's always on 10 and the personality's on 100. We in the building. We doing this thing. I'll forget what episode we on because I don't keep track of stuff like that. I just keep watching every week.
7.
Season 11, no, we in this thing.
The absolute ghetto. We are on episode 7.
It's your job to start the show. You are the moderator. That is part of your job.
Sam, just do the whole intro over.
Shamara, I think you're gonna need a shirt as management.
Management says to put a shirt on, Shamar.
Management says.
I'm weak.
Welcome to 10 Talk. What's the intro? I forgot. Line.
Welcome to 10 Talk, where the conversations are on 10 and our personalities are on 100.
You heard the boy.
And today we're going to be discussing episode 7 of Married at First Sight.
Season
Okay, I'm ready.
Season
Hold on,
11, episode 7.
See, he wrong too. Everybody wrong. Okay, 7-11. 11-7. I'm ready. Welcome to 10 Talk, where the conversation's always on 10 and the personality's on 100. We here to go ahead and talk about Married at First Sight, Season 11, Episode 7. 11-7, not 7-11. And this is the very first time the couples are actually, leaving the island and got to go deal with their real lives and stop, on their honeymoon. So we're going to go ahead and break down each couple. I want to start out, obviously, with everyone's favorite, Woody and Amani, and see how they felt about, how each other felt about each other's homes.
Okay, so I loved when Amani was like, this hat wall, this is not decorations. She was not playing with the hat wall. But I personally thought it was kind of cool, kind of like Art Deco, kind of funky. But she was not feeling it at all. And then
I honestly felt like, that comment, it didn't bother me at first, but like watching all the other couples, I think there's a trend with women. What do y'all have against how men decorate? Like, she was upset because like the paintings on the wall were from like local artists, or it wasn't snazed up, it was bland, it was boring. It's like, what is with women and like how men decorate? Why do y'all just feel like, why do y'all disrespect her so much?
women like order. We want organization. We want like actual decorations and for things to be like seamless and have a theme, stuff like that. Non-theme is very like, bachelor pad, college dorm room, broke people house,
I was just mad because they hyped Woody up like he was like super neat, super clean, super organized. And I looked at his room. I was like, where? It was a whole mess. He had ugly hats on the wall. He had ugly shoes on the shoe rack. He had an old school 1985 television on the floor.
Yeah, 1985.
Yo!
I just feel like men only have things that we need and that we use. I don't need to use wall decorations. It's just an extra expense. Shout out to my broke boy. What is his name? Brett. That's his name. Broke boy Brett. Because he always worried about money. I don't understand why I need to buy something to just sit there.
I feel like you can have decorations that are also practical. Like I could have a bookshelf and that's a decoration. That's decorations if I have it, set up all nice or whatever, have it organized, have it, by color, by size, by whatever.
It's about finding that balance between practicality and aesthetic pleasure. You want your decorations to also be kind of practical because then it's just like a bunch of ornaments and like, listen, I don't like ornaments during the holiday.
I will say that the reason we like decor is because it makes something look lived in and like you actually care about it. However, I'm also going to put this out into the universe. I know it's a show, y'all married, and but hire somebody to come clean up before you come back home.
Music equipment.
Was anybody else expecting Woody to be cleaner? Because I was like, where's the cleanliness? Where is it, sir? Where is it?
Honestly, it made sense to me. I felt like, woman clean and man clean are two different standards of cleanliness. So I feel like his home, because it was mostly his homeboy saying like, oh, he really clean, he really neat, he don't like mess. So it's like, he homeboy clean, but he ain't like spouse clean.
When we talk about Amani, when she was throwing all those clothes on his arm, like
she said, "Run back to the register. I got some more for you." So since we talked about Brett a little bit and his brokenness, how do you feel about just how he took so much pride in his house, and it seemed like Olivia really didn't care?
I really think Olivia didn't care whatsoever. She's just used to a different lifestyle than Brett. Like she was a little condescending about it. Like she was just like it's like how he said, she seemed like she was on a field trip where she was not interested in it. She was not trying to be there, like really. And she thought it was like super messy. I mean, it was. Like, before she left, she already was thinking that she didn't want to leave her house. So maybe that also played a factor into it. Yeah, her house is where she's comfortable, and she's like, I like my house. We should stay at my house.
And I hate to say this, like, from my soul, because I know it might make Stefan happy. And, I want you to be happy, but I'm a Brett hater from my soul. And I was on Brett's side, because I was like, girl, he got a whole house, and you renting a pink bathroom. You need to relax. Your house is not all that
ugly. That bathroom was so ugly. Why is there pink in this already overly pink bathroom? Why would you add pink decor? I was like, no.
She couldn't change it because it's not her house. That's why. Because it was there when she got there. You being so critical of this man's house, you don't have a house, girl. You got student loan debt like the rest of us. Calm down.
Amen. Amen. Got debt from school. Amen. 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 Amen.
Wait, hold up. I want to talk about something with the Brett and Olivia situation in the house first. I hated the pink bathroom. Like, the pink bathroom was disgusting and atrocious. But I really want to talk about the fact that her house is literally a cat lady house. Like, she has the most ancient decor, the most weird things ever. Like, she just has a cat lady house. Am I the only one who thought that?
Didn't she say her parents own an antique store? Because when he walked in, the first thing he said was, "You have a lot of antiques." And she's like, "Well, my parents own an antique store."
Yeah,
and then she walked back. Ugly. And then she walked back and was like, "Well, they don't own the store."
Speaking about Olivia, how do you guys feel about like her calling her cats her children, and like how she doesn't want to keep her quote unquote children in like a closet or whatever? How do you feel about that?
A lot of people who don't have actual children but have pets do that. It's very common. So the fact that she doesn't have biological children, I didn't find anything wrong with it. I think that's just how people live. Me personally, I'm never going to call an animal my child. That's weird to me. But, get it how you live, right?
All right, moving on to more happiness and lovely things. We got to talk about Bennett and Amelia, who just... Every time I see them on screen, I just wonder, when is it going to turn left? And it just never turns
Never!
Left. Can you imagine waking up to your husband, ladies, and he tell you he dreamed his dad was giving him a facial?
And then she started talking about butt facials. I'm like, a what?
Okay, but no, seriously, on the note episode of Bennett and Amelia and them fitting together like two perfect puzzle pieces. I don't know. It's like almost so good that you want something to happen just to see how they get through adversity. Because like the pastor was saying, it's not gonna last forever, but it might last as long as the show lasts.
I feel like the only issue that they have is this moving thing. And when they brought that up, I was low-key feeling like Bennett, like that's a big decision that you're asking me to think about, and it's hypothetical because you might not have to move. So can we not think about this right now?
And like they've known each other for a week, and I get that you're already committed and you're married. Like that's yes, they're married, but like he's talking about moving his entire life, and it's a hypothetical situation, and so yeah, I feel like he's justified in wanting to like hold off on that. But I feel like it's also important for them to talk about serious things, which they have. They talked about kids. They talked like they be having deep conversations.
Yeah, I was gonna say I feel like they've had a lot of moments that have been like kind of a make or break situation, and they just work through everything. Like they're very much so like willing to compromise with each other and be able to give and take because I feel like they truly want to make it work. Like they are just perfect for each other, and I truly don't feel like anything can come into their relationship and mess it up. Like they are. Woo! Stars align. They're perfect.
Moving on. I would say this is the first time I think I've seen Bennett like show a little bit of insecurity. Like when Amelia was talking about her being homecoming queen and being athletic and being able to do all these sports. And then even like the fact that she's obviously has, you know, a career that she's going on. He was even like, I don't have a very mature relationship with money. Like
I don't think it was insecurity. I just think it was him like being like, wow, I never thought this would happen, and now this is my life.
I mean, he very much had like a kind of nerd vibe. He was like probably also still the nerd in high school, and like so he's just like, I never thought, like, you know, I never thought that I'd be with the homecoming queen. But I feel like that maybe does show a little bit of insecurity that he had. I don't know if he still has it, but it's definitely an insecurity that he had. You know what I mean?
And while they're in the house, how do you like feel about Amelia saying that she has 4 roommates and sometimes even more? How do you feel like that's going to work?
Well, she's going to be living with him in the apartment now, so I don't think that really affects the
with Bennett's personal house, the one he built. When I saw that, I was like, you know what? I don't care what it looks like on the inside. The fact that he built his own house is a W for me. Like
that's super cool.
There's no way you're gonna get me to build my own house. I'll tell you that much. So just the fact that he had his own house that he built and he could walk in there and say, I built this house that I'm living in, man, that's a W for me.
Even if it doesn't have a bathroom or a kitchen and it's basically just a bedroom, a decently nice, you know, nicely decorated bedroom, but still a bedroom. He built it, so and he decorated it, and he did that. Also,
hey man, he got his neighbor's house for the bathroom and the kitchen. We don't need to worry.
It was also a really pretty color. I like the blue. That's just, you know, my personal preference. It was a pretty color.
This is crazy because I think it's only because it's Bennett that y'all are saying this. My man has a clubhouse. My man is living in a clubhouse, a children's clubhouse. And y'all saying, this is cute. Oh!
His house fits his personality. That's all I'm saying. And he built it himself. What is more manly than building your own house from scratch?
And that's why I think it's so cool to us because it's like, it's Bennett, you know? Like, you're completely right by saying if someone else did it, we'd be like kind of side-eyeing it. But it's Bennett. It's just his personality. And we accept Bennett for who Bennett is. Would Lacey Dickens want to live in that house? Absolutely not. But I'm not Amelia. And if it works for them, it works. And she was clearly super attracted to him by that house.
And the wedding hat.
The wedding hat.
The wedding hat. I knew she would like it. I told you he could have worn it to the wedding, and she would have been over the moon. What was this? Over the moon?
Now, if
he could have worn a hat.
Bennett's house would have been Woody's house, and I'd have had to turn the episode off if Woody walked in there and said, "Yep, this is my house."
Woody would not live there. Woody would not live there. He would be like, no, not the move. I mean, he lived with her grandma, but still.
First of all, do you see how Woody brushes his teeth? He couldn't live in that cabin.
All I know is that if I was Amelia, like, post the experiment, because I'm already believing they're going to stay married. Post the experiment, they need their own house. They can live in a tiny house, and they can't live in Amelia's house with 45 people. They need to get their own house outside of everything. Like, they need their own fresh new start.
Yeah, I mean, it might be in a whole different city. Who knows?
I agree.
And so what I really want to dive into is like when they get the visit from Pastor Cal. Because those conversations really opened up what's really going on in them.
Pastor Cal was drawing tears. Pastor Cal came and suddenly everyone was crying. I like, oh.
Pastor Cal was straight shooting. He wasn't holding nothing back. He was asking all the questions, okay? And I was living. Pastor Cal was the only thing good about the whole episode.
Nah, can we talk about Pastor Cal's reaction when Brett got up to go get the tissues and everybody thought he
was walking out. We thought he was walking out.
Lacey literally, we were watching. Lacey was like, Brett is the worst. And then he comes back with the tissues and she's just like, oh.
I was like, no, see, I was trying to give Brett the benefit of the doubt. I was like, maybe he left to prevent himself from saying or doing anything that he may regret in the future. Sometimes you have to distance yourself from negative situations so that
no.
Lacey,
but you should still say something about it.
Lacey,
be like, I need a minute to cool off.
If
not just
you are in an argument and I'm afraid that I'm going to say something that I'm going to regret later, I'm going to leave and remove myself from the situation to prevent that from happening. That is
that makes sense.
That is what I was hoping his walking away was. And then it was even better when he came back with the tissues. Because it's like, no, I'm not leaving. I'm going to get you something that will help.
I think that even if you're walking away because you're angry and you need to, like, I feel like that's fine. Like, if you need to cool off, you need to cool off. But I feel like you should communicate that. Be like, I need a minute. Give me a second to cool down, and I will come back.
When I'm angry, communication is not what is on my mind. I'm sorry. I do my best to communicate when I'm not angry, but once I get in that zone, it's goodbye. I will talk to you later, and that's it.
And that's why I'm so proud of Brent, because that's what I thought he was going to do. And he got up and got her tissue and then sat down and really had an open conversation about how he felt and how he wanted to be there for her feelings in that moment.
Yeah, but I said she wouldn't have got Nan tissue for me. Because she was playing too much. He was trying to compromise. He was like, if you want to go to that fancy stuff, that's fine. You could do that. But I have goals that I have set. And then she was like, but I want you to go too. He was like, if you pay for it, I'll go. Then she was like, no, but I don't want to pay for it, girl. I don't know what you want then. Yes. He was being mature about the situation, in my opinion, because everything she said, he was like, yeah, that's fine. I'll do those things with you. If you want somebody to travel, I'll travel. But I just don't want to take money out of my retirement to go traveling. And then she was like, no, I want you to spend money. You stupid. Like, and also, y'all need to sit down. I feel like they should have did like one of them like couple activities where you sit down and write down your finances. Like, girl, if you move into his house, because he owns his house, maybe your bills would be lower and y'all could go on these vacations. But you want him to move into your rented house with the pink bathroom?
I think she lives in like the now and Brett's planning for the future. She's like, well, I'm doing school now, and so I like to spend my money on entertainment and do different things. But I have debt. I would like to pay off my debt, but I really don't want to take away from my fun things to pay off this debt. And he's like, "Girl, like that's how you pay off debt. You stop doing things that you want to do to get your life in order." And she's just like, "But I don't want to do that." And like Sabrina said,
our plan is better.
Yeah, like but like Sabrina said too, like I don't even want to do these things. You want to do these things and make me pay for them?
Well, to keep it consistent that we hate Brett, I just want to say that he was being a little bit condescending, talking about how you don't budget and kind of attacking her rather than attacking the problem. Because if you're having
That's
an
true.
argument or a disagreement, attack the issue, not your partner, not their morals, not their values, not who they are as a person. And I feel like that's where he went wrong in being able to kind of get her to think his way because he don't know how to communicate.
I believe that. And I wrote that. I even wrote, like, when the episode was happening, I was like, bad Brett. That conversation was getting real childish. Like, they both can't communicate.
Olivia brought out the two hands. Have you seen my bills? Have you seen me budget?
And this is 100% at.
She said, "Have you seen my finances?" Anyway.
So at Lacey, because we don't throw no sneak disses over here. I want to say that we can acknowledge when someone does something wrong without hating on them. We can acknowledge that Brett, yes, was in the wrong, but we don't have to say that we hate Brett because that's only you and Sabrina. The rest of us are taking
Anyway, after stop disrespecting my man Castaval, because first of all, he be too clean.
Castaval?
And I know who he is. He's way too clean. Because like Christina said, you look nice. I said, he is wearing that suit. He is wearing that suit.
He do be
Like,
dressing.
pink, I was like, I need that suit. Boy.
He do be dressing.
About it, and Olivia is not mature enough to not take, like, to compromise. She wants her life, and she wants somebody to fit into her life. She don't want to fit in somebody. She's like, no, I'm good. I need you to go on trips with me. She wants somebody who just, she want to like.
She wants that build-a-boo.
Yes.
that Disney movie, How to Build a Better Boy, that's what she wants.
And now we're going to move on to Bland and Christina. I think it's obvious that after this episode, I will leave him alone today because there was 2 moments in this episode where he showed some personality. He tried. He really tried. He was trying to make jokes, and I was giving it to him.
about the party?
I literally wrote in my notes, he made a joke. He did it.
I think it's official that he's not attracted to her. I think this episode proves he's just not attracted to her. There's certain type of chemistry ain't there.
He's not doing that.
He said, yeah.
I'm convinced Christina's in the mob.
In the mob.
Who?
We couldn't go see her house, but she used to work doing in big places.
She ain't got no house. She ain't got no boyfriend. She ain't got no house, and nobody been giving her these compliments. I am
And
convinced.
she got married. She got married at first sight.
Car? Oh, let's Christina live in her
Like, I was so confused. She's like, yeah, no, my place in California, something like that. She's like, all my stuff's in my car. I'm like, I thought you lived.
Somebody was getting chopped up in the living room. That's why they couldn't go home. She's in the mob. Only mob children that are not that attractive get told every day that they're the most beautiful woman in the world.
And Henry said, well, maybe I misunderstood. And Henry, his mind was like, I did not misunderstand. She be lying. I don't like her.
No. The funniest part is we all know Henry wanted to say, I'm going to keep this PG because, but he wanted to say HE double hockey sticks no when Christina asked was she going to be invited to his little parties. I can't wait until you leave this house so I can have some fun. That's what he was thinking.
Henry was like, no. You will not be invited, ma'am.
Did you see how he described? Like, there's a song that you really like, and then there's one that you're not too sure about, but it grows on you. She had an acquired taste.
Bruh, and she literally walked into that.
Playing on the radio, and I don't want to hear the song no more. But since I know the words, I'm gonna sing along.
Yo, there's a show called Indian Matchmaking on Netflix, and there's a girl on there named Aparna, and I seen a page compare Christina to Aparna, and now I can't unsee it. So if you watch Indian Matchmaking, you know what I'm talking about, because they are like the same person.
Bro, when Christina walked into that apartment, she was like, I don't like that. We're going to change that. That's ugly.
Why?
I want to move that. I was like,
with her feng shui.
Apartment.
made Henry help her
It's
move
not
the
good enough
couch.
for no feng shui.
How you go feng shui and it make it look worse? And then you sit down like you accomplished something. You sit down and sip your wine like, ooh, girl, this is so much better. No.
Well, she ain't got no house, so she's not used to decorating because she ain't got no house.
Go feng shui your car. Girl. Go feng shui your car. Your mama house. Do something.
This is what is really gonna mess them up. Is that Christina is the aggressor in like, or she's like the one that wants the physical connection, and she's not gonna get it. And I don't know how I've never actually seen a woman who wants that not get it and how she reacts.
I just want to say, I thought Pastor Cal, when his facial reaction to when Henry was comparing Christina to like something that grows on you, and like he was that analogy, his Pastor Cal's face was like,
it's because Pastor Cal's black. He's black. He said, anyway, so.
No, when he asked if they talked about those serious topics, y'all talk about finances, kids, and I was like, they don't talk, they don't DM, they don't text message, they don't Snapchat.
No, they ain't talking about it because they don't talk. They ain't never had a real conversation.
I ain't seen a messenger pigeon go from nobody. They don't.
And then Christina go tell a little confessional. Yeah, no, I've seen glimpses of his personality that I really like. Like, where do y'all talk?
Oh, one more thing about Henry and Christina that made me mad when they went to his house. He pointed out his heart surgery pillow, and she just kept talking like she didn't hear him talk. And I'm like, girl, this is why he don't talk to you. He was like, yes, that's the pillow I got when I had heart surgery. And she was like, is that a mouse? Is that a pigeon? Like, she was just like she don't listen. Why you want him to talk? He just said I had heart surgery and they gave me a pillow. And you didn't say, so what did you have heart surgery on?
On a Karen type beat.
Yeah, she just glossed over that and was like, are you bringing this globe to the house? This is why nobody like you, girl. This is why you don't get no flowers.
And see, that's why the question comes up. Are they communicating or waiting for their turn to speak?
On that note, we can go ahead and move on to Miles and Karen because, sir.
Okay, before we talk about Karen and Miles, I have a question for Sabrina.
Ooh. Uh-oh.
Okay, so as the only married person, what's the best part of having a husband?
I know you know what this.
that was so random.
No, it's not random.
No, it's not. It's not. It's right on time. It's right on time.
What do you mean? Like, I don't understand the question.
She needs a yes or no check.
Karen is having somebody to hold your bags and take your bags for you.
Whoop. But no, I actually like my husband as a person. So the best part is like I actually found somebody who can like be around me without being nervous.
So anyway, I just feel like Miles, like he said, he's waiting on his moment to put himself first with them. And I just feel like he might as well just give up on that dream because he's going to keep waiting. And keep waiting.
Karen literally told him, stop giving me your representative. Tell me what you need from me, what you want in a wife, what you need in this partnership, and he just continues to ASSS kiss.
Here's what I think. I think Karen is asking for the truth, but she can't handle the truth.
I definitely agree with Shamar, but I also want to say that, like, I don't think he's lying or, like, giving a representative. I think he's really being himself, and I think that he, as a person, like he said, he's really giving, and so he doesn't know what he needs in a relationship because he's so used to giving something. The only thing he's ever expressed this entire season that he wants is to be able to be connected with his wife in a way married people are connected. And she's just like, if it's 1 week, 2 weeks, never. And he's like, whoa. What's
never. Hold up, never.
But it's like he's just being himself. He's just honest. Like, I don't know what I want. I want you to be happy. That's what I think his view as a husband is the person that makes the woman happy. And so I don't think, like I said, he's just being honest.
I think Miles is kind of reminds me of my husband. He just chilling. Like, it don't take a lot. Give him his Xbox. Give him his little, kids he take care of. He want to come home and have somebody to chill with. Just like Amani said, she just want somebody who's game to do things with her and have fun. It's not that deep sometimes. And I think everybody's like, what do you need? And really, he needs somebody who is willing to accept him for who he is and have a good time. Like, can we... And that I could give you a hug and you not.
Ooh. Okay, so when I was watching the show, I noticed that Karen was like worried because she saw Honeymoon Miles and she wanted to know real Miles. But I just want to know what Honeymoon Karen looked like. We ain't even seen that.
Right. What is Honeymoon Karen? Because I missed it.
No.
Is it fair that Miles is going to have to prove that he's not the last guy? Is that fair?
No, not at all.
It's not fair. It's not fair. It's not fair.
Do you think it's his responsibility to be the person to get Karen over the last person? Or do you feel like this is something he has to dealt with before?
To work, he has to kind of appease her until she can kind of get over her own stuff, because it's like that's the only way it's going to work. But it's not his responsibility because he's not his fault. It's not his fault what she went through and what she experienced. But if the marriage is going to work, he got to kind of
tread lightly
and just kind of realize this is who she is. This is her problem. Because even when we were watching the episode, so I went home for a day, and I wanted Karen to cry so bad. I was screaming at the screen like, Karen.
Screaming.
I was screaming like, cry, Karen, cry, release, let it go. Because she's just holding so much pain and trust issues from her past relationship.
I think that Miles has such little room for error, because as soon as something goes awry, Karen is automatically going to think this is the real Miles, because this is the person she's been looking for the whole entire time. So if Miles just has one bad day, I think Karen's just going to completely shut down and be very unresponsive. Because
that makes sense.
What Lacey was saying earlier, that he's kind of putting his representative, I don't think it's completely that, but he understands that he has to be more patient because of who Karen is, or how she's acting because of her previous situation.
Yeah, but I think it's more respectful to her to be okay, well, these are the things I want, but I understand that you're not ready for those, so I'm not going to pressure you about them, because I understand that's not what you want. So it's okay, we can wait. And I think Karen is waiting for him. Should I say no room for error? Oh, you came home 2 minutes late. Where were you?
I feel like Karen she's waiting for something to go wrong, because she already has this idea that, okay, Miles is being all perfect or whatever. When's the other shoe gonna drop? And so she's waiting for that one mistake that he makes and be like, oh, yeah, he was lying the whole time. He was faking the whole time. She's waiting for that moment.
I think she should say that, though. And I think also he should say, I'm scared to be my complete self, because if I have an off day, I feel like you might not like me at all and think that that's my whole character. So it might be a representative, but I'm representing the best side of myself. We all have good sides and bad sides. So I think that she also needs to get off her high horse and realize everybody not gonna have the best day and put forth their best effort every day. It's a real marriage, and she ain't been putting forth no effort. So, girl, what you want? You want a cookie?
Everything that happens, she's trying to find a way out to confirm the bad thoughts she's thinking, because right now she's thinking irrationally. So she wants something bad to happen subconsciously, so that way it confirms the bad thing she already thinks in her head.
It's self-sabotage.
So that way she doesn't have to take personal responsibility. They be like, oh well, I should have known he was trash because of the way he folds his socks and irons his drawers. And that's not really it.
Miles does everything. Miles
Everything.
folds clothes, Miles packs, Miles takes all the luggage, Miles gives her little cute head massages when she's stressing out.
Miles also equated her cutting her hair to somebody getting an abortion.
That was Woody and Amani.
That
was Woody.
I mean,
that was Woody. Yeah.
We were talking about a different couple, but that was whack. I don't know what he was. That was a mess.
He was talking about lack of communication. Y'all blowing
Okay, but he took it way too far.
She's gonna make a point that I'm gonna make later. So go ahead.
If I get a bob, a wig, my hair braid and whatnot, that's not a decision I need to run by you. That's not your business.
Exactly, that's my hair.
Hold up. What he was saying was, as a married
couple,
communication is the number one most important aspect of any relationship, whether it be sibling, husband, wife, boyfriend, girlfriend, mom, dad, whatever it is. Any type of relationship you have, communication is going to be your number one most important aspect. He was saying, don't make a life-altering decision without communicating with your husband, who you are legally now married to.
Okay.
And now I would like.
Okay, but the way he.
But cutting
No,
your hair.
wait.
Even if I'm bald,
She said she would tell him, and he was like,
Samuel.
No, pause. Because first of all, hold on, because y'all, it's too many of y'all talking. So we're gonna go to Sharif, then we're gonna go to Leilani, then we're gonna go to me, and then I think Shamar gonna have something else to say. Go ahead.
All I gotta say is that if I choose to cut my hair, if I show up bald, that's not a life-changing decision, and that also doesn't affect you. I get him saying that you don't want things that affect you, like, oh, if I'm gonna quit my job, I'm not running it by you because we married. I get that. But if I'm gonna cut my hair, I'm gonna cut my hair, and you're gonna get these locks.
the way I feel about it is, she said if I come home bald, but she said that she would tell him. She already established that she would still tell him about it. She's just saying that I'm not asking for permission to cut my hair off of my head. And he's over here like, well, I don't think that. He was like, well, what? I'm not attracted to you anymore because you ain't got, like, what?
Whack.
No.
Whack.
Okay, first of all, this is where the conversation went wrong. Woody made a very profound statement about marriage. He says, I don't think you should make any life-altering decisions without talking to your partner. Then Amani was the one who brought up the well, what if I come home bald? That is something so small and insignificant. That was not the point that Woody was trying to make. So what Woody did was forced to explain what he meant by what he said using her example, which didn't make any sense. And he fell into the trap of a downhill slope of this sounds stupid because now I'm making a point I wasn't even trying to make. Because you could see at the end when he was like, all his comments was like, well, I'm trying to prove my point. I'm trying to prove my point. It wasn't even like the issue at hand. Because he was like, well, what happens if like you're not gonna be attracted to like who I am as a person? He's like, no, I still love you. What about if I get alopecia? I still love you. It's like it's the choice and the decision to make without the communication. That was the issue.
Were we watching the same show? Was anybody watching the same show as Samuel? Because I was not watching that show. Were you watching that show? I wasn't watching that show.
No.
Okay, just check.
Okay, so I'm gonna address Sabrina and her asking if we were watching the same show. I definitely was, because as Samuel said, his main point was you should not make those big time decisions without the communication. And Leilani was saying that she said that she would tell him, but no, she made it sound like, hey, I cut all my hair off, I'm on the way home. No, he wants a sit down conversation. This is what I'm thinking of doing. This is what I would like to do. This is what I'm going to do. And I just want to let you know beforehand, not after the fact that it's done. Because now it's just like, oh, I told him because he's going to find out anyway.
Okay, so why is that any different to when she got braids for the honeymoon?
Shamar, sorry, Leilani.
God.
Shamar, you have a good point. Bad example.
Period, Leilani.
No, I'm telling y'all, because even when he explains himself and what he said, why he said, it was a big issue. Like I said, Amani is the person that said, "Well, what if I cut off my hair?" That wasn't even what he was thinking about. He's thinking about life-altering issues. Like, hey, I bought a car today. With what money?
I thought he brought it up. I could have sworn he brought it up.
No. She brought it up.
I have a point.
He said one thing. I don't think that my wife should make any big life-altering decisions without discussing it with me. And Amani said, "Well, what if I come home and I'm bald?" I'm like, that is not what kind of example is that?
No, I thought he said something like,
no.
I thought he brought it up. I promise you weren't watching the same show, but here's what I have to say. As somebody who has cut my hair off numerous times, and my husband hates short hair, and guess what? Do not care, because I'm going to do what I want, and you go like it. And if you don't like it, you go get to like it, because guess what? I'm going to do what I want. Anyway, so I think that Miles made a valid... But anyway, Miles, I understand where he's coming from, because they don't have a foundation. Like, their foundation is built on initial attraction. He don't know her all the way as a person. I expect him maybe in a year to change where he stands. But the thing that irritates me about a lot of black men, a lot of men from the South, a lot of men like Woody, it started at the wedding, and I've been letting it go because he have a great personality. But he was like, "Are you mixed with something?" Red flag number one. No, I don't have to be mixed with something because I'm all the way black. I'm blackety black, and I'm pretty, and I'm black. And second, he was like, if you cut your hair, what if I'm not attracted to you? Then you are superficial. You need to work on your own self. You was walking around the honeymoon with the whole ponytail, and I didn't say nothing to you.
As a woman, for you to tell me that my hair is gonna change, that you're attracted to me, like, so basically it's all physical, nothing about my person, nothing about my personality, nothing about who I am. But if I cut my hair off, maybe you want me to attract to me more, and to have the nerve to compare that to not working anymore or an abortion was out of line. And I'm a Woody stan, but that was out of line.
He didn't compare it to the hair. She did. She brought up that conversation. Woody,
but he still drew the analogy to quitting a job and getting an abortion. Okay, and the reason why this conversation came up was because he felt as if in his past relationship he should have been consulted about having an abortion. I think he was in his feelings.
He was in his feelings, and I feel like that was valid. Like that was a decision that she should have talked about. Like, ultimately, yes, her decision, but she still should have talked about it with him, I think. And that makes sense, but I feel like he went a little overboard with this specific conversation because I feel like those two things don't.
I think at this point we can agree to disagree because obviously me and Samuel were watching an episode about how communication is important in a relationship, and y'all was watching an episode about how Woody is superficial. So I think we can agree to disagree because no matter how much we argue and sit and talk about it, me and Sam are gonna be on one side, and everybody else is gonna be attacking us. And so I
want to know what
Tisha not saying nothing.
I want to know what Tisha
Same. I want to know what Tisha thinks too.
I just kind of think, with the comments you made specifically, like, what you mix with, and then like, oh, if you cut your hair off, it's an attraction thing. To me, that brings up a lot of black people, black men, black women, etc. We all have this issue in the community where we get stuck on featureism. We really denigrate and we demean our like natural African-esque features in favor of a more Eurocentric beauty standard. And I think, even though like, I'm not saying he's done this intentionally, but I do think he has inklings of like featureism within him that makes it that he's internalized from like obviously the state of the world we live in and we grew up in and all that. So I think that maybe he should like think of it in that way and just try to like work through it. Because that was one it felt like to me. It was like, wow, you seem like you kind of hate your features a little bit. And like obviously I'm not trying to pin self-hate on nobody, but that's just how it kind of like read to me. That you have some internalized issues you ain't dealt with.
It's like my whole life people have asked about my hair and asked if I'm mixed because they see my hair and they automatically are like, oh, what are you mixed with? Because they think that black women only have 4C hair or something. So that's always been something that's a microaggression that I've had my entire life. People have always been like, "Oh, I wish I had your hair," blah 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 blah. Like your hair is pretty. Like, please believe that. Like I've had so many black people come up to me telling me like, "Oh my god, I wish I had your hair," blah blah blah. And I'm just like, but no, you're so beautiful. No.
And yeah, Shalik, you gotta stop using those big words.
Oh yeah, Stefan asked me what Eurocentric meant, and I had to explain it to him.
The school system don't be teaching that.
That's true.
And that's what we have in these videos. We can teach you. You're gonna learn them. You're gonna learn today. You're gonna learn these big words today. Open up a dictionary. Look it up.
Love you.
I'm sure. Well, as an OG of this whole hair game, the bang, y'all know I keep cutting my hair, and I dye it colors on top of colors, and I choose when I want to allow it to be a courtesy to my mate, a forewarning, but the decision is already made.
Period.
Because that's one of the things on my personal body that I will never allow a man, a woman, a occupational government system to determine for me, because I am yet an individual. And I am not my hair. That's what India Ari said. Now, with this whole Woody and Amani situation, I just felt like, again, he got caught up in the twirl up, and he was kind of trying to fix what he said, but was making it worse. I feel like on one hand, he was trying to explain how important communication is, because firsthand, communication will make or break a marriage, period. Now, relating it, her taking it one step, trying to figure out where his head was, wrong Q&A. It was just the wrong setup. Like, my hair, who cares? But she made it more of a big deal, in my opinion, than it should have been in relation to communication.
Come on, Quinta.
I also don't feel like he should have very much weight in terms of what she actually does with her hair. Now, communicating about it, hey, I'm about to cut my hair. I'm just giving you a heads up. Like, we cool? I mean, because that's about all I need to give you is a we cool. If I give you that, when I give it to you.
I'm not doing that, so, congratulations.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. If that's what you choose, but if I wake up today and decide that I'm about to dye my hair again and it's about to be burnt orange, it's gonna be burnt orange by the time you get home from work. And what we gonna do about it? You gonna kiss me goodnight and keep it pushing. So I don't know. I just hope that Woody can redeem himself. I hope that Amani doesn't shut down. I hope that they still maintain open communication, because they are still one of my favorite couples. Hate Karen.
Hated it.
Chime in. Tell us about it. Chime in. What are your thoughts?
I just can't stand her immaturity. And I feel like she's trying to fake behind being this elder of a person for him, when, again, I feel like he's more stable. I mean, we keep going around the bush. More stable. He's together. And the fact that she was so withdrawn about the fact that he was talking about his emotional issues and his need to be on medication and clinically being diagnosed with depression, like, that just showed me right there that you are not a woman, in my opinion, because that is not something that is a red flag. That is something that you are being able to understand, that a man is open and willing to talk about it, which means he has been open and willing to go get help about it. So don't put him back in a shelter or a cove where he has to feel like there's something wrong with him because he has something medically going on that is causing some kind of imbalance in his life, when he's taking care of it clearly, because he is leading the people at the little schoolhouse where you trying to get on his benefits at. So
with
clearly he's doing something.
With all his days.
With all his days. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? So, again, back to the ones that we...
It kind of reminds me of... Sorry.
Go ahead, Lonnie. Go ahead.
I was saying, it kind of reminds me of when Woody was talking about his anger issues. And he was being very open about that. And Amani had a much better reaction. She was like, okay, under control, all that. She was just like, and when she found out that he wrote in a journal, she was like, oh, you gotta knock off the chastity belt or whatever. I'm like, that, like, she's like, that emotional intelligence is attractive to me.
And then again on what
Agreed.
Tisha was saying, when Pastor Cal was talking to what's her name, Karen, and asked her, "Do you feel married?" and she said no. It reminded me kind of you know, when she at first said that she wanted to be on his insurance benefits, and it's like you don't even act like you're married to this man, but you want all the benefits of being married to this man.
She wanted to get on the benefit plan, the dental plan. She wanted to carry all the stuff. She wanted
That's
to
the
give
other
her back
thing.
rubs because her back is sore.
Did you notice?
And
Did you
then
notice
I
how
told
she was like, that's the only time she called him a husband when he was getting all her stuff? That's the great thing about having a husband. Can you go get my
Bruh,
stuff?
I was so upset. I said, so now he's a husband. Because he's your slave. So now he's a husband.
Her butler.
That's what I said. I told Stefan and Shada, I said,
Her
she
butler,
want a husband, she want a slave.
her insurance carrier. Because anything else above that, they barely strangers. And now at least he has some kind of adjective. My stranger. She's taking some kind of ownership here. Not much. Again,
Like, but
can't stand
like,
her.
y'all not strangers no more. Like, why y'all doing this? All right, cool. Well, let's start with we're gonna actually give him his name today, Henry, because he actually has some personality. He was kind of funny, so he gets his real name, gets some respect today. How do you feel about Henry and the diva, Christina?
It's still a hard no for me.
Still a hard no for me.
It's a no for me, dog.
It's a no for me as well. And I also want him to devastate her life a little bit. Just a little bit. Because she really
you ain't right. You is not right. You is not right.
She not right. Because she not nice. If you treat the wait staff like crap, you are a crappy person. I believe that in my soul. If you treat people who are serving you and providing a service to you like crap, you're not worthy. So she's terrible. She lie a lot. She don't have no house, and nobody has told her that she's the most beautiful thing in this earth. And she needs to stop playing with me because I don't like her. Because I feel like she needs to grow and learn from this. And then I want her to be a happy, fulfilled person with somebody else besides Henry.
Okay, can I just say that you're right? How she gonna treat the wait staff like that? A flight attendant. Like if someone came at her like that, she'd be all bent out of shape. But that don't make no sense.
I also feel like her impatient nature is gonna just make things worse.
Yeah, because Hammer was not feeling it at all. He told Pastor Cal, he's like, she a diva, she in pay, I don't like her.
Man. It's just he really friends on his wife, and I was like, wow, like doing therapy, like wow, this is what we doing. I'm getting friends on in therapy, and see, I feel like every week it's a no for me, but every week is a no for me because of somebody else. Like last week it was a no because of Henry. This week is a no because of Christina. I just don't. They just not compatible. I don't know what the doctors or the specialists saw in them. Maybe we'll get to see it, but I don't. There's nothing about them that clicks.
Also, a no.
All right. Let's go to.
Ain't it like 900 degrees with Sharif in his hat?
He look like Anthony Hamilton.
He looks really cute, but isn't that like fur or something? Like what is it, alpaca? You look hot.
No. It used to be Granny's, and now it was in my room, and I like the way it looked, kind of, so I've been adopting it.
I don't think you should explain that. I think you should have just said,
You look like August Alsina.
I mean, you rocking it.
Of entanglements.
all right, moving on to Amelia and Bennett. What do we think? I say yes because it's Amelia and Bennett. They'll make it work.
Yeah, that one's an easy.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Yes.
Thumbs up.
Weird bird cage love on top of love.
Marine
Yes.
biologist love.
You
I
is marine.
am
You
a
couldn't
national
you
park.
get that Amelia is
That's
a
all I
marine
need to
biologist.
know. When she said, "Oh, if you would have worn a hat, I just would have fell into your arms," I was like, "Okay, can we get to the end of the season? Kick them off the show. Let them go live happy lives. They don't need counseling. Let it go. Let it go."
They authentic and they authentically like each other and they go make it work because they just free birds. She's like, great. But did you find it funny that Bennett had the nerve to be like, can you take off your shoes when you come into my tiny house?
He's so proud of our house. He said, can you take off your, and she was like, okay, sure. You know, period. Okay.
I wrote it down like shoes off in Bennett's closet. All right. What about Amani and Woody?
We up here.
I think this is the first time they showed a little bit of friction. You think they still good?
Yeah, I'm still on team.
Yeah, I think they have.
I still think they got
keep
this.
working it out.
Yeah,
They
I
got
feel
the-
like the fact that something so small that got so big got resolved is like a big show of the like maturity and how well they fit together.
True facts. Facts on facts.
I also don't
Well
think they could have
said,
resolved
kid.
that small issue that grew without Pastor Cal. So that's one thing that I'm hoping.
It might not have come out up.
That once they
It might
get
not have
off,
come up without Pastor Cal.
that once they get off of the show, that I hope that they're able to migrate through their issues and get through them, smoothly, just like they did in the therapy session. Or if they notice that they need a third-party moderator to go and seek for that help.
Yeah,
I think naturally
that's
that's going to come though, as they learn each other and as they grow into their friendship and their relationship. Like, they will find that talking gets easier and easier, and it doesn't even matter how long you date someone. Be married to them and live with them full time. You know what I mean? Like, you start seeing where communication barriers are, what those idiosyncrasies are, like where all of those issues lie. And I think it's cool that they psychologically match them because they know that they have what it takes in order to get over those humps. So I do feel like they're equipped. I just hope that they utilize the tools that are in their belt in order to keep making and building their relationship.
And finally, we're gonna go to Karen and Miles.
We ain't did Olivia and Brett, but okay.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Brett are the word.
We're gonna do
Next.
Karen and Miles first. We're gonna do Karen and Miles first. I'm still saying a no for them.
I'm on the fence at this point.
I'm still saying no.
I want Miles to say no. I want him to say hard no, and I want her to be the one to say yes. When she like that one couple a couple seasons ago, a couple seasons ago, where she treated him like straight doo doo, and he was like at the end of it all, he said no, and she finally came around to say yes, and then she was the one looking like crud. But you don't get to just keep treating people like that and think that it's okay, and then when you finally come around, then that's when I'm supposed to jump for you. Goodbye.
I just think that Miles' mother is going to be very happy with the outcome of Karen and Miles. That is the only thing I'm going to tell y'all about how I think they're going to last or not.
They gonna make
You saying she about to get her baby back.
I want my baby back, baby back, baby back, baby back, baby back.
they gonna make it because
If you can't handle
Woody and
it,
Amani
bring it
gonna
back
make
to
it.
me.
They gonna make it because Woody and Amani are going to make it. Miles going to be try hard Miles and hope that it gets better once the cameras go away and that he has proven himself. And she's going to realize that you ain't gonna find like a better version, so you better like get with the program or not. And they gonna make it.
As long as you live.
So
Where did you go?
So we're kind of on the fence about Karen and Miles. Basically, that's what I'm hearing. Everyone kind of like lukewarm. I agree with Sabrina. It's like I agree with Sabrina and Tisha. I want them not to work because I want Karen to say yes and Miles to be like, no, I'm over it. But I also agree that Miles has the personality to be the person to be like, well, my best friend, him and his wife, they made it. She's not terrible. I can still make it work. And moving
She's
on.
not terrible, but I just feel like he's gonna wind up being the one that's gonna be the herder one in the relationship because she is going to be like a stalled out car, just not moving, not even trying to add no more gas to the engine. Like she ain't trying to go nowhere. She is stuck, stalled, and stupid.
Shit, I want to get to know the real you. Well, who is the real you, Karen? Who is the real you?
I think that is the real her, and that's the problem.
Look, moving on to Lacey's favorite couple, Brett and Olivia. I feel like by some miracle, through all their issues, they're gonna make it because they're getting all their issues out very early.
Brett and Olivia.
Her too.
Who are we talking about then?
We're talking about
Brett and Olivia. We already did Bennett and Amelia.
Are getting a divorce.
Brett and Amelia ain't gonna make it because Brett broke and Olivia. She won. I can't.
These
names
is way too similar, bro. Like
Brett is.
How Mama can never get your name straight.
I'm gonna change my opinion. I feel like Brett would put more effort to make it work, but Olivia has a certain lifestyle that she wants, and they just on two different paths. Like they just don't mesh with lifestyle, with education, with kids on any like they don't match. I don't know who. Like okay, y'all got cats. But she don't even like his cat. She's like, your cat ghetto. Your cat be climbing. What kind of cat you got? You keep your cat climbing.
I got an adventurous cat.
No, honestly, like this is the first episode where I'm not like seeing Brett and Olivia going forward. You know, I'm still like, you know, they're cool people, but they're not cool together. You know what I'm saying?
I think that Brett and Olivia are having a tug of war of power, and each of them is trying to pull each other to the other person's lifestyle. Olivia's trying to pull Brett into Olivia's lifestyle, and Brett's trying to pull Olivia into Brett's lifestyle. And they're not trying to just like let go of the rope and just come to the middle. They're each going to drag the other one to the other side.
They're not compromising. Yeah, you're right. It's a good analogy.
Facts. There's no compromise. It's like we need to do stuff now. He's like, we need to do stuff when we're retired. She's like, I don't want to wait that long.
And she don't want to pay for it
either. And I want you to pay for everything now.
Like, how you gonna force me to be somewhere and pay?
I'm gonna tell my sister Tisha, hey, meet me at Disney World next week and you paying for it.
Don't stay together. They not gonna stay together, and they better not neither. They don't.
Okay, so I didn't get my rankings for that for other couples. So my list is Amelia Bennett, Karen Miles, Woody Amani, Brett and Olivia, and then Henry and Christina in that order. And I'm not sure. Amelia and Bennett are the only couple I'm for sure that I think are going to stay together. The other ones, I just have to see more from them. And yeah, that was it.
Those cannot be the final words. Did he really just put Karen and Miles over Woody and Amani? Are you watching the same show as everybody else? Okay, hold on. Can we just let the kids leave? Because I know Lacey's question, and I've been waiting on it.
Okay, I'm leaving. Bye. Bye.
Oh, God.
No. Wait. Before you say anything, is this 18 plus, 17 plus? What is it? Because should I still hear?
I know the question too. we're gonna talk about how Woody and Amani are using our unprotected sex. That is what we're gonna be talking about. Like, come on, it's not that hard. I know.
Whether you know the question and whether you should be here for the answering of the question is two different things.
Shadai is through. He's had it. He's upset. He says, I'm going to be on this call. I'm going to be on the adult episode.
Shadai said you are going to include me, period. I don't care what you say. I am going to be included.
Shadai said, I know what y'all going to talk about.
Well, now that the cat's out of the bag, let's start with Samuel and his thoughts.
Shadai was watching the same episode as everybody else. You know?
I was like, the same episode. I actually had a very profound question on their unprotected sex. I was thinking, does the fact that Woody had a former ex have an abortion on him without telling him crave his want for a honeymoon baby?
I think that's a possibility. I mean, of course, I can't diagnose nobody. I can't tell you how other people feel. I don't got the degrees nor the credentials. But what I will say is, logically speaking, that makes perfect sense to me. It's a form of intimacy in a way. He feels that he lost out on what he deems as his right to be a parent in that situation. So it's like now he's he hopped him on a roller coaster high. You know, when the roller coaster, you get all the adrenaline rush and then you just kind of want to do everything that's more extreme because your blood's all pumping. I feel like that's where he is in his marriage right now. His blood's still pumping. He got the adrenaline going and he hasn't settled down yet.
I got the degrees and the credentials, and I feel like it's a hot mess. And I feel like it got nothing to do with it. I feel like he just thinks it feels better. So they had an oops moment, and they wasn't thinking straight, and he just drove on in it. Okay, that's all I think that was. I don't think it's that deep.
Yeah, it was a total Usher moment for me.
Wait, Let It Burn Usher or a different Usher?
Okay, my honest answer is that they just in the moment and it just feel better like that. And that's something you just say. But I think that Woody wouldn't care either way. Because honestly, I think that from him looking at it, he we married, whatever. I don't think they really looking at it, him or Amani really looking at it as an 8-week thing. I think he looking at it as it's my wife, she get pregnant, we have a baby, whatever. That's what's gonna happen. And it feel better like it is now. Let's have this honeymoon baby, let's get it cracking. He don't realize that you gonna have a whole baby. And it ain't that cute or fun. And a lot of all this stuff you're gonna be able to do now, you won't be able to do when you have that baby. It look cute and it seemed cute in theory. But yeah. That's my thoughts, and I kept it PG, and I'm proud of myself.
See, the reason why I think that it did have something to do with it, though, is just for the simple fact that Amani knew, made it vocal to Pastor Cal, oh no, he was shooting for a honeymoon baby. This is something, so this is obviously something he was talking about. It wasn't on camera. It wasn't, showing on the show, but this is obviously something that he was even making jokes about from time. He was talking about, oh, we might as well just do this honeymoon baby. We might as well go ahead and get this honeymoon baby in. We might as hey, I'm not pulling. I'm going to get a honeymoon baby. This is obviously something he was, talking about. And so
because as Sharif would say, he wanted to get it. No, he wanted to get it. All of it.
So what? He wanted all the WAP.
Yeah, see, listen here. It had nothing to do with no baby. He was trying to figure out this chastity belt situation and how loose it was going to get and how fast it was going to get loose. And at the end of the day, it was about a feeling. They were in the moment. Chemistry was there. Wasn't nobody thinking about in the moment, let me bust off so I can have this boy or this girl. You know what I'm saying? They was just vibing out. They was doing a honeymoon thing and they really connected. So to say that he was intentionally,
and then his facial expression.
out, like intentionally trying to, plant those seeds in the garden or something. Like, I think that was a far fetch. He was just enjoying the fact that he was able to go raw and he was able to go deep and he was able to probably get in there a few good times and have some fun on
That
a honeymoon and consummate their marriage. Period.
All I'm gonna
And
say to
then
add to what Sabrina said and Tisha said, but to add mostly to what Tisha said, I feel like yes, you're right, but you can't tell me he wasn't. I'm gonna put a baby you during they little activities. He was at least gunning for it.
That's cocky dudes in
it.
the first place. Every dude want to always talk about what they shoot or gonna shoot and how they gonna, make something stick. First of all, he don't know what kind of plan she on and what gonna stick, can stick, will or will not stick. So at the end of the day, I think it was just more talk than it was seriousness behind it, and it was more so of him just making sure that he's still spitting that game because at the end of the day, he's still a very charismatic young man, and he liked to shoot the.
And at the end of the day, they are married, and
they are married.
And he's like, okay, whatever happens, happens. If we're in the moment, we're in the moment. And it feels better when it's in that way. So he said, I'm just going to go ahead and just go straight for the jugular. And whatever happens, if I have a baby, I have a baby. It's no big deal because he came into the marriage committed. Period.
So my thoughts on the whole situation was just that his facial expressions when Amani said that like he was gunning for a honeymoon baby made me think sort of what Lacey was on, that he wasn't necessarily going in there looking to have a baby, but whatever happens, if it happens, it happens. He's just trying to, like Tisha said, get in there, do what he got to do, and deal with the repercussions.
So Shady, since you know the question, do you have an answer?
Yeah, I didn't take it seriously at the time when he says I was going for a honeymoon baby. I thought he was kind of like joking when he said that, but I guess apparently I missed some things that you guys picked up on. So I'm not gonna go further onto the conversation.
So I said I made a mistake by staying here. I should have left.
Should I said, you know what this is not? Any of my business.
I wanted to ask, it's like I thought it was so interesting how they were talking about how they did it multiple times, because when Pastor Cal said, did you guys consummate your marriage? And when they said that they sometimes use protection, that put in my brain, oh, they doing the thing, okay? They not just had a one-time incident, they getting it popping. And that's all right.
She kept asking, do she want to take a shower? That was code words for come get up in this.
That's for sure what Sabrina said. Like, I think things are happening in these showers.
Nah, look,
absolutely.
Cover it up.
It was the water down my back for me.
He told Pastor Cal, oh, not every time. Like, oh, we don't go without protection every time.
Exactly. What said to me, they getting it popping on multiple occasions.
I was talking. He didn't even let me finish. Jumped in the middle. Get out my Kool-Aid.
Rock the boat and paddle in this pond.
But she tried to cover it up, jumping all in there, talking about, oh, but it's not going to happen again. Yes, it is. Yes, it is, honey boo boo child. He going to be all up in there with the mac and cheese, stirring it left, right, middle, and up and
down. I think, honestly, that was her talking to a pastor, and by which I don't think they've ever used protection. Oh, we don't use it every time. I think that was code words for no, we don't. But you don't need to be all in my business like that. We don't use it every time.
But I think she got embarrassed because she said it out loud, and she realized how it sounded when Pastor Cal looked at them like, "Are you okay?" Like, So then she was like, it was only one time. See what had happened, and then we decided we was gonna take another route.
Walk you back.
And then, it was just that one time, Pastor, we saved, and then they went right back to doing what they was doing.
They said, look, Pastor, we is from the South. We like our soul food, and you can't have your soul food without the macaroni and cheese.
You can't have your soul food without the mac and cheese, boy. You need the mac and cheese. You need all that mac and cheese.
Look at his face.
You don't kill the chat, boy. You don't kill it.
What was that laugh? That's what I want to know.
Tisha can't breathe. Sabrina dead.
And Shaddai still looking like I should have logged off 10 minutes ago.
Should I like mac and cheese? Doesn't make any sense.
I think that's the episode, okay?
That's been another episode of 10 Talk. We're going to keep getting better at this. We just thank everyone who's supporting us up to this point. If you're watching the episode and you made it to this point, we appreciate you. Much love to you and your family. This is my family. We'll see you next week.